Hello and welcome to News Central Television. I am Chiwete Onyema. The top stories at this hour. Governor Sanwo-Olu swears in 57 local government chairmen. Gunmen abduct 6 students of Nigerian law school in Benue State. A Central African Republic President Touadera to seek third term in December elections. You're watching news now on News Central's. Details coming up. 57 new elected local government chairmen have been sworn in after the All Progressives Congress landslide victory at the recently concluded Lagos Council polls. Now, at the swearing-in ceremony, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu asked the chairmen to promote unity and avoid political favoritism, reminding them that governance at the grassroots must be inclusive and people-centered. News Central's Sarah Ayeku has more.
For most of the 57 newly elected local government chairmen and councillors taking an oath of office and getting a handshake from Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is historic, one they have dreamt of since the 12th of July when they were elected. To an overcrowded room, the chairman pledged to justify the mandate given to them by the party and the people.
We will strengthen our party's bond with the people and ensure its triumph in the 2027 general elections and beyond. I stand here today supremely confident that my colleagues and I are fully prepared for this task. We give you our word and we will not let the party down. Thank you. The newly sworn-in chairman, let's keep moving.
The All Progressives Congress swept all 57 chairmanship seats and secured 375 out of the 376 councillorship seats. The People's Democratic Party claimed just 1 seat in what many have described as a largely one-party affair. Governor Sanwo-Olu, while administering the oath of office, asked the new chairman to prioritize grassroots development and deliver tangible results in their respective local governments.
Today signifies a deeper call, a call to service, a call to stewardship and to selfless leadership. Victory is not a trophy, it is a mandate, and it comes with weighty expectations. Let me sound a note of warning. Going forward, it is not a group thing. It is not because this person voted or this person did not vote for me. It is not this group that has elected me. It is everybody in your constituency and in your community that now owns you and held you accountable. You are responsible to each and every one of them, and you have promised that with the vote you have taken, you will serve everybody with fairness and with good conscience.
I will discharge my duties.
This swearing-in ceremony, the ruling All Progressives Congress has once again asserted its political dominance at the grassroots level.
People in Agege should be, I know they're expecting a lot, and for us, myself, the chairman, and for us is to go around things around infrastructure, our environment, youth inclusion, women inclusion, things around our healthcare. I know how to improve everything and improve the quality of life among our people.
We need to build homes in our community also, to help the vulnerable, and we are going to work on infrastructure.
With the chairman now officially in office, the expectations are high and so is the responsibility. All eyes are on real and visible development at the grassroots level. In Lagos for News Central, Sarah Ayeku.
The last may not have been heard on dissenting voices over the renaming of a popular Charlie Boy bus stop in Bariga, Lagos State after hip-hop artist Olamide Adedeji, aka Olamide Bado. The immediate past Bariga Council chairman announced the renaming of the bus stop, stating that the move was part of efforts to honor individuals who have brought pride to Bariga and contributed to Nigeria's global image through their craft and contributions. However, mixed reactions have continued to trail the development, and a senior advocate of Nigeria, Monday Ubani, said Nigeria is already hanging on a delicate thread of national unity, strained by insecurity, governance issues, and ethnic profiling. He warned against rewriting the cultural history of Lagos in a way that marginalizes certain ethnic groups, particularly the Igbo community. Also, Charles Oputa, the convener of our Mumudondu movement, accused the government of acting out of fear and political insecurity through his social media posts. Charles Oputa now joins us virtually to discuss this and more. Of course, he's popularly known as Charlie Boy, and he joins us live to have a deeper conversation on the development. Area Father, you're welcome to News Now. Can you hear me?
I salute you.
I salute you too. Now, you're one person who has, you've lived quite a long time to see things unfold in Nigeria. Now, just 2 years ago, when we had the elections in the 2023 general elections, the conversation about ethnicity was loud yet again. And we're 2 years to the 2027 election. Do you see the same thing happening again?
Well, I know that the people in leadership position these days, they've been using the same playbook since I can remember from the 60s. It's the same playbook, you know. I wonder why it is. I don't wonder that much, but, you know, how come anytime it's about politics, you know, you have these funny characters trying to pitch us against each other. But if it's about their building their empires, yeah. You will see an Igbo man there, you will see Yoruba, you will see Hausa, you will see Fulani. They are all there stealing the money. So why is it that it's just during politics and when we're about to, you know, vote for another funny character, that all of this comes up? I think people should start to question the fact that my bus stop was renamed. It's really neither here or there. Whatever we can do to help Nigeria and Nigerians, this is what it's all about. I just believe that was a little bit silly, a little bit petty, because if it's about talking about what one has done for that community, I mean, go and verify. You can't touch my records.
We're gonna talk about the renaming of the bus stop, but I want to hear from you as regards, you know, things affecting the Nigerian political landscape right now. Now, you're the convener, you're the brain behind the Amumu Don't Do. Do you think, ever since you started, you know, talking or calling out the government, do you think anything has changed, or do you think there has been any form of effective movement or positive change?
Yeah, I can get frustrating sometimes, but as an elder and as an area father especially, I can't stop talking about the things that jar me, the things that, you know, that frustrates me in this toxic environment. I can't help talking about it. You know, I don't think much has changed. And that is because of our nonchalant attitude. When I did talk, say, our mumu, na follow come, you know, it be like saying, I know you understand, you know, because Oyibo people will always tell you, he that is down needs fear no fall. If you talk, you go still die. You no talk, you go die. So why not talk and die?
All right, so now there's a coalition now. I mean, talking about ways to change things. Moves have been made even in the political space. There's a coalition now. The ADC is brewing something. What's your take on that concept?
As a father, I'm just sitting and watching for now. Anything that doesn't sit easy with my conscience, of course, you know, I'll scream to the loudest. I've always said that the salvation of this country lies in the hands of its exceptional people. And who are those people? They're just the youths. I guess gradually they are coming to terms about the power that they possess. Yeah. And whenever they've had enough and they feel that enough is enough, I hope they will invite me to be at the forefront of that protest. So all I can say, let's wait and see. But if they're starting now to do all this urugege worker, then of course you can start to have an idea, what 2027 will be like. And sometimes I keep wondering, I don't want to sound a bit depressed, but I keep wondering, would all of this show face, would there be any positive, any light at the end of the tunnel in my lifetime? But I know that what is happening now, is unsustainable. And let me also tell you that globally, leadership has fallen to an all-time low. Check out what is happening in America. They have Donald Trump. And there is something so wrong with that, because you start to wonder, now our people, they go give them the information how they can MAGA themselves in America, or what is happening. Because yes, I mean, we have no sense any longer, but a Donald Trump for America, for the world, then where do you think our leaders are getting all these oppressive vehicles from?
All right,
it's a shame.
Let's get your honest reaction now. How do you feel when you heard that Charlie Boy bus stop had been renamed after Olamide? Was it a shock to you? Were you disappointed, or did you feel something deeper?
How can I be disappointed? I can't be disappointed in any crap this government is pulling out and all the people that are in it. This is a gang of I don't know what. And there's a whole lot of BS. So it's a long time coming. I'm not surprised, but I mean, I didn't feel either way. I mean, hey, you have Charlie Boy bus stop, you don't have Charlie Boy bus stop. I mean, are they giving me money? Am I collecting money from it? Apart from the fact that I lived there and I was useful to that community. It's all about legacy. So it's in the hearts of people. It's not something that is written on a wall. Yeah, that's what I believe.
Now, some say this is just a harmless name change to celebrate a local icon, but you've called it a political move rooted in fear and insecurity. What exactly did you mean by that statement?
Exactly the way I put it. I say, how come it's during politics that, there's always divide and rule, there's always bigotry, there's always tribalism and nepotism. Why? Of course, it's from their old playbook. That's what they do. And that's what happens when you have scavengers and people with no pedigree who are running the affairs of this country, when the very worst of us are leading the very best of us, is something that is abnormal with all of that, don't you think?
Now, do you think this renaming is part of a larger pattern, one where cultural contributions from certain ethnic groups are being sidelined or erased in places like Lagos?
Yeah, there's been the fear of Igbos. I don't know why, yet they seem to be one of the tribes in the forefront of trying to give Nigeria one. Yes. So I don't know where all that hating and beefing is coming from, but I keep saying, why do I still see Fulani man, Hausa man, Yoruba person, Igbo person, they are all in that place stealing the money. It has nothing to do about tribe. When it comes to the collective stealing of our national patrimony, they're there. So there's something wrong, and we all can decode what exactly it is.
Now,
this is what they do. So, I mean, when leadership has been taken over by vagabonds and riffraffs, what do you expect?
Now, Mr. Oputa, you've lived long enough in Lagos. You've seen things happen in the past. You've seen things happen even recently. Do you agree with that concept? Lagos is a no man's land.
Yes, because this was our first capital, so it had people from different ethnic groups who made Lagos really bubble. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, yeah, it's just like America, the melting pot of all the, a lot of immigrant people. And now look at how Donald Trump is messing the whole thing up. Yeah. So yes, from that perspective, in terms of people coming together, it's really a no man's land. It's like New York. I think Lagos is like the New York of Nigeria. Yeah.
So if you had a chance to speak directly now to the local authorities behind the decision of the change in name of the bus stop now, what would you want them to understand?
I've moved past that. I'm not interested. They change the name, they don't change the name. Please, how do we get out of this suffering? How do we get out of this depression? Because the same place where Yoruba, Fulani, or Igbo man, they go buy their things in the market. It's the same place, somebody from Cross River. And if we're grappling with no food, we're not even sure what we're going to eat tomorrow. And then this question of insecurity. And then you bring about one stupid, silly, petty thing like a name. What's in a name, really? Apart from the legacy of the person that bears that name. And I've left a good one in Bagada. Go and verify.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Oputa, for having this conversation with us, and we hope you join us again some other time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah?
Right.
Remain blessed.
All right. You're watching news now. We're going to go on a quick break. When we return, there's more. Many thanks for staying with us. Now to a sad story. 6 students of the Nigerian Law School were abducted by suspected armed bandits on the night of Saturday, July 26, while traveling from Onitsha to the school's Yola campus in Adamawa State. The kidnapping occurred along the dangerous Wukari-Benue Highway, a hotspot for insecurity and attacks. The missing students have been identified as Reverend Ernest Okafo, Ogbuka Fabian, Nwama Philip, Okechukwu Obadiego, Obalem Emmanuel, and Obiora David. Families have reportedly been contacted by the kidnappers, who are demanding a ransom of 20 million naira for their release. Security agencies in Adamawa and Benue states are coordinating efforts for the students' safe recovery. The Nigerian Law School had scheduled academic resumption for Monday, July 28th, following the court externship break. The situation remains tense as authorities continue investigations. Still on security issues, the Jigawa State Police Command has arrested 2 suspected armed traffickers and recovered 2 locally made firearms. Police spokesperson Lawan Shishu said the arrest followed intelligence-led operations by officers in Kazauri. The first suspect, who's 30 years old, Abdul Samad Haruna, was intercepted while allegedly transporting a concealed firearm to Plateau State. A follow-up operation led to the arrest of another suspect, Anwalu Yusuf, who's 24 years old, from Kano, who was found in possession of a second illegal weapon. The police believe the firearms were linked to a wider trafficking syndicate operating across multiple states. Commissioner of Police Dahiru Mohammed commended the officers involved and reaffirmed the command's commitment to tackling arms trafficking and securing Jigawa State. Now, in a bid to strengthen regional unity and influence national leadership decisions, northern political leaders have come together to deliberate on ways at uniting the opposition coalition under the banner of the Alliance for Democratic Congress to position the party in the build-up to the 2027 general elections. The meeting, the third expanded meeting of the northern arm of the National Political Consultative Group of the ADC, met in Abuja to chart a way forward for the North. Sumaya Abubakar reports.
The meeting, which held in Abuja, brought together former political office holders, grassroots mobilizers, and party strategists committed to giving the North a cohesive voice. The adoption of the ADC as the coalition's preferred platform marks a shift towards a more organized and unified regional front.
It's a meeting of Northerners, specifically to discuss as a family problems bedeviling the North and how to look for solutions to it, how to prepare for the oncoming election, to see to the fact that our interests, we elect only somebody who has the interests of the North at heart and who will address the challenges facing the North. Because as it is, we are of the opinion that this government has no interest in solving problems bedeviling the North.
Too often, as politicians, we exploit ethnic and religious differences in order to win elections. And thereafter, we leave our people hopelessly divided. The destructive weaponization of ethnicity and religion we saw in the last election is totally unacceptable.
The group says political alignment at the local level is critical for the coalition to influence outcome of the 2027 general elections.
We know that any non-serving governor will want to come to us now because of the kind of intimidation that they are facing. We know what they are doing to them. Some of them who cannot jump to their party are saying we are endorsing their presidential candidate. No problem. But what you are seeing is a conspiracy against the Nigerian people. ADC welcomed everybody, but we are convinced that we are a movement that has the backing of the majority of Nigerians who are not happy with the direction this country is going.
We started out as what we call a consultative forum for northern politicians, but as the momentum was going on, it appears that the whole of the North have decided that they will join ADC. So now the distinction between what the National Political Consultative Group is and the ADC has blurred.
With coalition structures expected to roll out across all northern states, stakeholders say the next phase will focus on grassroots mobilization and policy alignment. For the northern arm of the National Political Consultative Group, unity isn't just a goal, it is a strategy for 2027. In Abuja, for News Central, Sumaya Abubakar.
Join us now to have a conversation as regards that report is Professor Kenneth Nweke. Professor, can you hear me? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, and good evening.
Yeah. So we've seen attempts to position, unity before. Many fall apart before election season. What makes this effort by the northern leaders any different this time around?
Yeah, for me, what makes it different is that ethnic coloration or regional coloration to politics is being heightened as we speak. When you talk about the North being negated by this particular government, it deepens for me the ethnic hegemony, that we should talk down on, promotes, identity politics through ethnicization, of politics, and that's not good for us as a country. If you talk about the whole of Nigeria and Nigerians, so to say, then there is an understanding. But forming a particular block and then calling it for the North, and then on the basis that the North is being sidelined in terms of governance, is not the right thing for us, at this point in our national history. Yes, a coalition can go on because hunger does not know whether you're a northerner or you're a southerner. And so what affects the northerner also affect the southerner. The only difference could be in the area of probably appointments, that this present government, when you hear of a number of appointments, and so they are tilted to, one side of the country, especially the West. And so in major positions. And that's what you can condemn, but not to a group, in form of a coalition to opposition to say that the North must unite to fight the government at the center, in 2027. That's not the way to, go about things. But if you look at the generality of the policies of the government, poor governance and all of those, generally from that perspective, then it makes meaning. But when you want to look at it from the point of view of a particular region, ethnic, group, then that's where the difference comes in, and that would not help us as a nation.
Now, some people see this as less about national unity and more about securing regional power. How do you respond to that kind of skepticism?
Yeah, because that's what it is right now. Of course, that Nigeria, adopted not by way of any law, but by way of, gentleman agreement, understanding among the political parties that, between the South and the North in terms of presidency, rotational presidency. It's not in our laws. It's not in the ground norm, neither in any extant law of the country. So, but that gentleman agreement is there. And so where political parties focus, for instance, in 2015, they agreed somehow that they should zone that to the north. Doesn't matter, from where. And so Muhammadu Buhari elite, emerged at the time and then was there for 8 years. And so the common understanding was that to go to the south again, and then Senator Ahmed Tinubu emerged, as the president. And so the understanding would be that probably a second term may also be extended to this southerner, so to say. And so the issue of the North coming up right now to ask for 2027. Yes, it's an open thing. Nobody can stop anybody, because even at the other times, from all parts of the country, people vied for those positions. So it's an open thing, even if, like I said, there's a gentleman agreement among the political parties. But, at this time, pushing it to the North as if, the hunger, the poor infrastructure is about the North. It is not true. So what happened during Muhammadu Buhari's administration of 8 years? So if he did not do anything to improve the lot of the North at the time, and so then why are you pushing that? Or if you say generally that the economy is bad, and so we need a true Nigerian, irrespective of where the person comes from. And so that will begin to take us away from the kind of identity politics that is being promoted in this country that will not take us to anywhere. And so when you do that, regional considerations and all of those, become deepened, and instead of uniting us, for a common progress that we need in this country. And so you also derail the coalition. So if you do coalition on the basis of ethnicity and regionalism, then that will not be the best. But if we say, we want a true Nigerian, and let me tell you for free here, democracy in Nigeria. I just came out from a conference in Seoul, and so where, it was like, what do you do? Does democracy, this kind of democracy we have in Africa, is the democracy helping us in any way? But unfortunately, the kind of democracy that we have, the Western democracy, the liberal democracy, is not helping us. Ordinarily, one, if not for the modern times, one would advocate for a dictatorship. If we have a dictatorship that means well for us, a dictatorship ordinarily that can offer us food on the table, a dictatorship that can restructure our country, a dictatorship ordinarily that can make us, behave well and understand that indigenship, should not be the basis of consideration of things, that where you come from should not be the basis of a presidency and all that, then, it is good for us. But unfortunately, this kind of liberal democracy is not helping us in this part of the world, not even Africa as a whole. Unfortunately, because what we have is associated with democracy is about cyclic election cycle of 4 years, and then we are all abiding by democratic principles. But democracy that does not bring food on the table of Nigerians, democracy that does not give us good roads, democracy that does not give us energy, as coming from Seoul, everywhere the technology has gone more than even the West. And so what are we doing? In the National Assembly, people are sitting down there, talking about what gets into their pocket. This set of human beings who are also gathering now, talking about the North, also were there. But Lawa was also there in Buhari's administration and all of those. Yes, I believe that there must be a coalition.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor. Thank you so much, Professor Kenneth Nweke. We're sorry, but we just have to wrap it up now as regards this conversation because we're pressed for time. But thank you so much for your time.
You're
watching News Now on News Central. We're going on a quick break. When we return, we have more for you. Many thanks for staying with us. Now, after News Central's report, Nigeria Army donates 1 million naira to grieving family. The Nigerian Army has donated 1 million naira to the widow and children of late Maina Sule, who died as a result of a military vehicle that rammed him in Maiduguri. Now, this follows as News Central reports that reveal the situation of the family after 10 months of the unfulfilled promises. News Central's Umaru Kirawa completes the report.
Aisha Kyari, a widow whose husband died as a result of tragic military-related road accident at Baga Road in Maiduguri, struggles with her children. A week after News Central spotlighted the plight of the family, 10 months following the death of her husband, a delegation from the Nigerian Army has responded. News Central crew finds out about the intervention that seeks to support the grieving family.
Haure su diwa da gaskiya ka jin zufan nan goyi sauro zare sarina da askaran galala ne ro darajan do asra goyi sauro zare miliyan falle sarina
miliyan daya sun yi kokari amma da za su ƙara kokari a nema mata ko wani abin da wajen zama mu shine tunanin mu dama akwai yaran da suke da sikila ne a cikin gidan to wannan jarin miliyan din zuwa asibiti da dawa ba na tsammanin zai iya kaiwa shekara ɗaya ma ko wani abu saboda akwai yawan siyan magani ba su da wani foundation ɗin da yake taimakawa yaran sai mu ne dama mutane haka nan unguwa suke taimaka musu.
The tragedy which left the family without its breadwinner had triggered emotional reactions from the public after being exposed by the media.
To mun gode da kokarin da suka mana, mun gode Allah ya saka da alheri amma har yanzu muna buƙatar gurin zama gida kenan. Gida muke bukatan zama yanzu. Gidanmu nan kuma yana yoyo. Jiya ma da aka yi ruwa don yayi yoyo sosai.
Wad burungo zana din biya dun sikla indin be sai roci sai ngulzana. Fande ba sana ndiro fato ma sai ngulzana wad munti duli klara gozin dungu zamana zale zana amma isa rango zarin dara. Krama in be kratan be ma December isha ci da sojare indi gozin ngulzana. Amma mana fato kunje su awla so da ai magulza shida.
1 million naira donated to the family. Community members speak further.
The residents of this area thought the Nigerian Army have forgotten about the family, but now that it has been broadcasted by the News Central, I still thank the news agency. The Nigerian Army have now responded. Now the people of the community will have relief, and I think they will have more trust in the Nigerian Army because of how they responded and brought help to the family of the late Bamaina.
If they are to feed the real deer, it's 100 camels, as I said earlier. Approximately, it's up to 600 million. But what they did is good, quite good. But we are now appealing to them to come and help this family because they are real needy.
It is a relief for the family of late Maina Sule, as the military has restored some hope in their time of grief, pleading for more support. In Maiduguri for News Central, Umaru Kirawa.
We now have our correspondent Umaru Kirawa join us right now to give us some update. Umaru, thanks for joining us. Can you tell us exactly what is happening to the Maina Sule family? What has happened to them right now?
It was an unfortunate incident that happened in the last 10 months, whereby military vehicle rammed on the breadwinner out of the family, that is my Nasule, and unfortunately, the man died when he was taken to hospital after the accident. And then immediately the military men and of course community members took my Nasule to his home, and then preparations were made, and then he was buried according to Islamic rites, and alongside with the military men. In fact, they were there during the third day prayers for my Nasule, where the military officers provided food items, bags of rice, pasta, cooking oil, and a token amount of money that was presented to the young daughter of late Nasule. And immediately after that incident, they promised to the family that they will provide them with shelter at home, and then they will cater for the health needs and educational needs of the children of the deceased, because two of the children are battling with sickle cell. They are sickle cell patients. As such, the military has promised to meet up to the needs of the family. Unfortunately, it took them very too long, 10 months. It was after our report that the military were remanded with regard to their promise, and fortunate enough, 7 days later, just today, the military officers, some of them came to the home and then presented ₦1 million to the family to support them as they grieve the death of the breadwinner of the family. Basically, this is the situation, and the family are going through very difficult time, like the mother says. As such, there is the need of the military to really review the case and, of course, meet up to the promise that they have made from the family.
All right. Aside the 1 million naira donation, has there been any confirmation from or any form of information from the military as to when they will meet up with the other promises of, fixing shelter for the family and also taking care of the children who are sick?
For now, the discussion, because the woman spoke with the military officers that brought the 1 million naira, they asked them with regard to the issue of the shelter, because that is one of the major problems they are going through, and of course, food stop. And the military officer said he cannot say per se with regard to the issue of the shelter, but all he brought to the home is that 1 million naira to support her to do maybe business and so on and so forth. But the family and of course the community are appealing to the Nigerian military to really look into the situation of the family, having known very well that they are doing well in terms of the counter-insurgency operation, but there is really the need to look at this family so that the issue of trust, like one of the community members said, now they have confidence and they have trust in the military by providing the 1 million naira. So we look forward to seeing the military responding in terms of actually supporting the family with shelter and of course catering for the health needs and of course the educational needs of the family of late Nasule, as the military has promised.
All right, thank you so much, Umar Kirawa, for bringing us that update, and we hope that indeed the military would fulfill the other parts of their promise. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
You're watching News Now on News Central. Coming up on the news, Central African Republic President Touadera to seek third term in December elections. We'll bring you details after this break. And thanks for staying with us. Now, in the Central African Republic, President Faustin Archange Touadera has officially announced he will seek a third term in the country's upcoming elections scheduled for December. Touadera first came to power in 2016 following a French-led military intervention and the deployment of UN peacekeepers that helped end a brutal civil war fueled by sectarian violence. He secured re-election in 2020, though the vote was marred by unrest and allegations of fraud from opposition groups. Supporters credit him with restoring relative stability across much of the country. However, critics accuse the president of attempting to entrench himself in power indefinitely, especially after a 2023 constitutional referendum cleared the way for him to run a third term. The Republican Bloc for the Defense of the Constitution of March 2016, a coalition of opposition parties and civil society groups, has said it will only participate in the elections if Touadera commits to political dialogue. While the president previously signaled willingness to engage, no date for talks has been set. And now to news outside the shores of Africa. Russia has inaugurated direct commercial flights between Moscow and Pyongyang for the first time in over 70 years. The inaugural flight, operated by Nordwind Airlines, departed Moscow's Sheremetyevo Airport on Sunday and is expected to land in North Korea's capital after around 8 hours. Initially, the route will operate once a month with tickets priced around $570. Russia's Deputy Transport Minister Vladimir Puteshkin called the moment historical, highlighting strengthened ties between the two nations. The first return flights from Pyongyang to Moscow is scheduled for Tuesday. Jordan and United Arab Emirates have carried out 3 humanitarian airdrops, delivering 25 tons of food and essential supplies to the Gaza Strip, marking the first such missions in months. The airdrops followed Israel's announcement of daily tactical pauses in fighting across 3 densely populated areas of Gaza to facilitate aid delivery by land and air. Coming up next, we've got sports update.
In sports, Nigeria's Udodi Onwuzurike placed third in the men's 100-meter event at the ISTAF Berlin Athletics Meet, clocking a time of 10.22 seconds. Jamaica's Akeem Blake won the race with a time of 10.05 seconds, while Germany's Owen Ansah secured second place in 10.18 seconds. Fellow Nigerian Fola Olaoye also competed, finishing 7th in 10.29 seconds. The event featured top international sprinters. Onwuzurike's podium finish adds to his growing profile in the sprints as Nigerian athletes continue to make strides in global track events during the 2025 athletics season. Morocco women's national team head coach Jorge Vioda said they are disappointed with the officiating but extremely proud after their 3-2 loss to Nigeria in the final of the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. The hosts looked set to be crowned champions for the first time after taking a 2-0 lead in the first half of the match, but the Super Falcons scored 3 times in the second half for a famous comeback victory. Despite Nigeria's second half comeback, Morocco's journey to a second straight final reflects their growing stature in African football. Defender Yasmin Mrabet praised the squad's performance and expressed pride in their consistent progress.
The penalty kick signaled by the referee, and then we went back to the VAR, and even that was crystal clear that the ball touched the player's hand, but the referee just cancelled her first decision. It was a really very strong mental and psychological blow on the part of our players.
England women beat Spain 3-1 on penalties to win the Women's Euro 2025 and retain their title after Sunday's final had finished 1-1 at the end of extra time. Chloe Curley scored the decisive kick in a shootout which saw 3 Spain players, including reigning Ballon d'Or winner Aitana Bonmati, all fail to convert. Mariona Caldente had earlier headed Spain, who beat England 1-0 in the 2023 Women's World Cup final, into the lead at St. Jacob Park in Basel, but Alessio Rosso equalized early in the second half. Liverpool have reached a £65.5 million agreement with Bayern Munich for the transfer of winger Luis Diaz. The Colombian, who has 2 years left on his contract, has been granted permission to leave the club's Asia tour in Tokyo. Bayern's initial £58.5 million bid was rejected, but a revised offer with add-ons convinced Liverpool to sell. Despite reluctance to lose a key player, the Reds accepted Diaz's push for the move following stalled contract talks. Diaz joined Liverpool in January 2022 for £37.5 million. In Formula One, Oscar Piastri secured victory at the rain-delayed Belgian Grand Prix, beating McLaren teammate Lando Norris to strengthen his championship lead by 16 points. The race began 80 minutes late due to heavy rain, with a rolling start following 4 laps behind his safety car. Piastri overtook pole-sitter Norris early, capitalizing on his teammates' battery issues, and controlled the race from the front to give McLaren their 6th 1-2 finish of the season. Ferrari's Charles Leclerc finished 3rd, while Max Verstappen took 4th in Red Bull's first race under new team principal Laurent Marquez. And that's a wrap on Sport Update. I am Udoka Njoko.
And that's all at this hour. Before we go, let's take another look at some of the major stories. Governor Sanwo-Olu swears in 57 local government chairmen. Government abducts 6 students of Nigerian law school in Benue State. We also reported that Central African Republic President Touadera to seek 3rd term in December elections. Remember, you may send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on your screen, and also follow us on all social media platforms at News Central TV. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Chiwete Onyema.